Good morning. Today is August the 20th. We are heading into the Expanse today. We're basically doing a follow-up on a hike we did, I'm going to say late June. It's now mid-August, but we're going to try to get in, repeat some of the hike, but we're also going to hook up with forget what river it is, and follow that for a ways and see how far in we can get with that. And see if we catch anything along the waterway. That's our plan for today, and we'll see how that goes. And let's see what the day brings. Thanks. Okay, this is first segment, we are at the corner of the Expanse. Regarding last week's camera problems, today is a muggier, warmer day, so it's going to be interesting to see if they repeat today. If they are, then I may have to think about the future of this camera, as even though I haven't beaten on it, it seems like it normally does that in the course of extreme cold or mugginess. Today is more muggy than cold, obviously. The thing is, last week it was about 60 degrees and lovely out, so I don't know where to attribute the issues I had. Hopefully today it'll behave and we'll take things from there, but at this point we are going to attempt, and given that I did briefly get lost last week, although under controlled circumstances, I'm going to make an effort to head, once I get stable footing, up on this slight rise here, to a beaver pond that effectively is sort of that way. Sorta. And before I do that, I am going to grab a compass reading just to verify the accuracy. Pardon, I got my hands engaged twice here. Or I may have to take a segment break real quick. No, we're good. And north is that way, the way the camera's pointing. So, much as to the logic of what I applied last week, if you're going in north, you head out south. When I got lost last week, I went in northeast, I came out southwest, and there was a logging road, largely kitty corner. So when I say I was lost under a controlled circumstance, basically what I mean is that you either go 200 feet out to your car, or you wander parallel and come out further down and then have to walk 10 minutes back to your car, like I ended up having to do. I wasn't quite sure how I did that, but come to find out, if you look at the meadow in question on a map, there was some visual interpretation as to what angle to take, like a right or left kind of thing. And I took the wrong one, so I ended up taking a slightly longer walk. Not a big deal. I wasn't going to need to call the helicopter or anything. I came out on a road. I knew where I was. Just a matter of trying to remember the least windy, confusing way to the pond. And if I recall right, it opened up like this, and there was a mossy area, which I'm seeing right ahead of me. And then it's kind of a 45-degree angle northeast, or is that northwest? Well, sort of kind of north, and then you follow that way, which is what we'll attempt to do. And then, considering that it's basically a couple hundred feet, you should hit it soon enough. And if not, we'll turn around. But shouldn't be that hard to find, because last time it took me about 3 minutes to cover the distance. Excuse me. The key to today's navigation is remember the direction back to the big open empty space that you're going to use as a navigational marker. And then get to the pond, same thing. And behind the pond is the river. And I'm going to go around all this, but maintain the same basic direction. We'll go from that. So I admit during the week I was actually shopping for another camera in case I need a plan B in short order. the thing is, given head movement, I already see where the pond is. I need something with a gimbal for when you're kind of roaming around like I'm doing now, because it is nigh impossible to operate in the woods without some head bouncing movement, because you're ducking and weaving and all that. I'm trying to just find the best angle to the pond. So importantly, I can still see that, and the pond should probably be maybe 100 yards this way. Shortly at the end of this tree, I should see an opening. And here I think I see edible mushrooms. I'm not going to risk it because I don't know, but I will take a second to point them out. Yeah, it's right there. These guys. I forget what they call these. They have some highfalutin name, but they are allegedly edible if they're what I think they are. But because I'm not sure, I ain't eating them. A more brave and adventurous forager may risk it. I'm not going to do that. Mainly because I have a field guide about mushrooms and some of their interesting side effects for the ones that are actually, like, they won't kill you, but just because they're quote-unquote edible doesn't mean they're delicious or good for you. There are a few out there that have interesting side effects on your system, even though they're not overly harmful. But the point to be made is there are too many examples of mushrooms that look exactly like other mushrooms. One is perfectly fine to eat, other ones will literally kill you. So that is a problem that is best avoided by people that don't know what they're doing. And I would put myself in that category. So the pond is effectively right here. So we're going to make our way through. And make our way down once we're through grabber fun. Lord knows I love these things. You will never sneak up on anything in the woods with these damn things in your way. Never, ever, ever. Yeah, it's going to be a muggy one today. So I'm at the edge of the pond, sort of. Once I go down a slight hill here and get through this undergrowthy stuff. The expanse is over there. The way out's effectively that way anyway. Back to camera talk. I also have a police body cam, which is nice in that it has a 10-hour battery life, but it is not immune to the wobble as I walk through the woods factor, giving you lovely car sickness inducing video, which is just the nature of the fact that you're walking through uneven terrain and trying to minimize that, but it's not totally possible to avoid having some wobble. Even with this, I think I have some. So if this thing does die on me today, the replacement will have to have some kind of a gimbal setup. Now that I have that and it's a stabilized camera, that's just how that has to be. But I'm going to make my way down and take a segment break, I think, and take things from there. I will be back in a bit. Okay, so we've made our way over to where the river is, stream, whatever. And it's kind of questionable how traversable this is. This is kind of steep, and I kind of knew that, so I don't the playbook for the rest of the day basically was going to be see how far I can get along the river, which is useful as a navigational thing to get me further in, but I am going to gauge this kind of like play by play as I go. And because some of this looks like it's going to be steep, slow going. I don't know. So regarding Bigfoot related gossip and things like that, as far as I know, it's been a quiet week. I didn't really observe anything of any great mention this week. There are people, I guess my bitch for the week is basically that the same old things keep cropping up. This last week, multiple mentions of Todd Standing, who, if anybody is not living in a cave, knows he is responsible for the CGI Muppets, which are basically him being CGI'd, and it's a hoax. Always has been. But you have the people out there that are wishful thinkers that want to have it be real. And the thing of the matter is, it's always going to be make-believe playland, which I guess some people want, so long as people stop like the effort to just like reduce the white noise that is BS like that, and trying to give Todd his 2 seconds of fame, which I think he's well past. I mean, of people right now, if you're going to ask, so who do I not have a lot of credence in, or hold a lot of credence in? Todd Standing, Tom Biscardi, Chris Noel, Polides, Isdal, that whole crowd. Scott Carpenter is a complete BS artist. I'd say Rick Dyer, but Rick Dyer doesn't even try to freaking be real. He comes right out and says, and I've said this before, he comes right out and says, if you believe me, you're a friggin' moron. Rick Dyer is true to his profession. He's a used car salesman. And he plays one on TV, and he plays one in the Bigfoot world. What more is there to say? And as long as these people, M.K. Davis is another one. Who else? There are some skeptics out there that fall into the same range. I'd throw large members of the coalition into that group. And then we could break it down by further categories, but we'll leave that for another day. I don't want to spend the whole day on this. But as long as people like this keep getting credence, you know, the white noise is going to be there, and you're always going to have a murky bunch of BS to wade through, rather than remove the wheat from the chaff and move on. This is going to be a short one because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to trail off on the gossipy shit too much. I'm trying to also gauge how far I'm going to get through this, because I don't want to get too far in, and then looking on a map, it didn't look that bad, but you never really know what you're up against till you get into the place. And we'll see how we do. But and yeah, if I need to think about replacement cameras, so far we're behaving today, which makes what I was doing last week all the more bizarre. But if it's that time, I need like a gimbal kind of operation, because I need the stabilization. I have a body cam too, but one, it doesn't zoom. Two, it's not a gimbal, although it does have a shit ton of battery life. If you just want to record something and then hold steady the parts you want to do that, and then filter it through with more editing, you could do that. But it's my secondary camera, and then I have other specialty cameras too. I like the 361. This, hold on, where I gotta kind of, the stream is diverting, or what's it doing here? That's a lot of tall grass and whatnot. Okay, so my plan at this point is I'm going to take a segment break while I figure out what the navigational needs are from here. That's getting a lot thicker. And the meadow, there's like meadow here, but it seems like it does want to go that way. So I'm going to take a segment break and go that way, see how thick it gets, and then make a determination. And if you look down there and look very, very close, there is a moose trail that leads through to the other side of the stream. And just thought I'd point that out while I take a break and see how far I'm going to get here. We'll be back in a bit. I was going to do an outro, but we are, there's something in the immediate vicinity walking through the undergrowth with us. So, I'm going to go a little bit more dutifully. Something over there. Trying to find the way out with the most visibility as well. I don't want to pop up on something in here at point blank if I can avoid that. That might be easier said than done, though. Hopefully it's feeling shy, though, if it hears me coming through. Because the odds of me going through here stealthily are slim and none. But I'm not alarmed yet because I don't know what it is. It could be a deer, it could be a bear, it could be anything. I'm just kind of moving towards the way out and keeping an eye open so that I can the fact that it hunkered down, though, is seemingly sort of kind of deer behavior, so maybe that's what we're dealing with. But we're gonna so at this point whatever we're dealing with is up in there. And again, sounds like it hunkered down, so the fact that it's not following me is encouraging because that would be indicative of something that's A, not aware that I'm there, and B, not afraid to act on its curiosity, which could be nothing or could be an issue. Again, depending on what my curious friend is. Deer or moose? Well, a moose could be a problem if you find him to be grumpy or has brain disease or some brain worm where he's all mentally effed up. But a bear, a curious bear would be the tricky one. Since and here's the thing, bears like that, they're not per se dangerous, they are unpredictable. Maybe he just wants to pop up and see what you are. Maybe he's gone a few days without a meal. I would rather avoid the latter, but this is opening up now. And I can see a little further out. And I don't hear whatever it was. I was trying to take a picture of an orb weaver spider, like in one of those spots, and for whatever reason, my phone camera is completely incapable of focusing in on a spider hanging out in open space. I got a blurry picture of it. I tried this in a different location, I would say 2 weeks ago, to the same effect, and got nothing. So I'm going to keep yapping into the camera just to make sure I'm covering my way out and nobody comes up behind me. More to the point, no thing. Although I don't, other than my own bumbling through the damned underbrush, I don't hear anything that would be of that nature, so I think I'm okay. Just covering my butt as far as if something should happen, I want it on video. So I think we're coming up on the second stream we have to jump. And that is where it's probably as good a place as any to start my outro. It's a good day to do the drone, but where am I going to put it up in here? The Hunter's Cape is encouraging because we're near the road. That means ish. I can jump this, get over there. Okay. I'm going to find my spot to jump. I am going to give the YouTuber speech while I'm pointing this way. Still a little bit paranoid. The fun of that moment is basically when you hear something in the undergrowth, you just hear cracking twigs. You don't know. You know that it's basically bigger than a squirrel, which means it could be any one of a number of things. Some are dangerous, some are not. So we're going to call this one a day. As you can see, we're near the road now. Like and subscribe, comment down below. I don't have a visual, so comment in the comment section. Any suggestions you want to see, let me know. And as I make my way out, we will catch you the next time. Sorry, nothing popped out to try to mug me in the woods. I'm thinking I happened to cross a wayward deer, because as I said, it hunkered down, and that's usually kind of like Bambi-esque behavior, so I guess that's what it was. You never can know. I've had mixed encounters in the undergrowth. One was a bear, one was a deer, one was somebody's wayward hunting dog. You never know. One was a coy wolf that came after me. Which is when I suddenly realized, just like last time, well, not last time, but this time, my bear mace is in the bleeping car. Fat lot of good, it's going to do me there. But we're going to call this one a day, and we'll catch you next time. See ya. Bye.